Hi, thanks so much for joining in. You're watching Ask Profit on NDTV Profit. My name is Alex Matthew, and with me is Mahima Vajrajani, and we'll take you through the next 45 minutes to an hour of trade. Good morning, Mahima, and happy Monday to you. But let's talk about what the markets are doing. It's a bit of a wobbly start for the benchmark Nifty 50. It's down about 0.6% as we speak. Off the low point of the day, of course, but hovering at that 24,600 mark on the upside. 24,800 is the first hurdle that it will need to climb past before it moves to that 25,000 mark, which has been a decisive resistance over the last several trading sessions. On the downside, of course, watch out for this level as well as 24,500. Take a look at the contributors and see what is moving the needle today for the benchmark Nifty 50. And you have Mahindra and Mahindra from the auto pack, HUL, a couple of the FMCG counters are in focus, and we'll talk about why that is. But on the downside, you have the heavyweights once again that are leading the declines: HDFC Bank, Reliance Industries, ICICI Bank, Larsen and Toubro. Let's talk about a few pockets of strength. The PSU banking pack as a whole has been doing quite well. Let's look at that index and see where it's at. At one point it was higher, quite considerably higher, but quite a few of the constituents doing well in trade. Bank of Maharashtra up nearly 5%, Union Bank of India, UCO Bank, as well as Central Bank of India, Indian Overseas Bank, Indian Bank, all gaining close to 3% or upwards of 3% at this point. The metal index as a whole was in focus at the start, of course, on account of that Trump tariff announcement. 50% tariff is what he's called for. The pack as a whole is down about 1.2%. IT continues to see selling pressure. The IT index perhaps off the low point of the day, but still under a little bit of pressure. There you go. About 0.75% lower as we speak right now. But let's talk about individual stocks. Anything that you're spotting?
Absolutely. So in terms of earnings, there are counters like Puravankara facing significant amount of pressure, and this is because the numbers did not show strength. There are counters like AstraZeneca. Let's pull up that and see how it's doing in trade right now, which is doing well. There you go, 11% on something like an AstraZeneca. Some other counters like Rolex Rings, again under pressure on the back of its earnings. Let's pull up that and see. There you go, it's down about 2%. Nykaa, despite of good set of numbers, down by about 1.5%, almost 3% now at its day's low points. I mean, the numbers were good, Alex, but the street seems to have factored in the kind of growth that it was expected to post, and probably not happy with the kind of margin growth trajectory that they've shown this quarter, because the street believes that they'll not be able to sustain these kinds of margins. Probably that's one of the reasons as to why the stock is seeing significant amount of pressure. With that, let's also welcome in our guest for the day. We're joined by Brijesh L from IDBI Capital and Saurabh Jain of SMC Global Securities joining us now. Welcome to both of you, gentlemen. I'll start with the first question. The first question is, okay, I don't have this, is on PCBL. We have Sumit Kapil who wants to know as to whether he should sell or buy at the moment. He's not given us, okay, he's holding 300 odd shares at 135 a piece. Saurabh, I'll come to you on this one. A very good morning to you. What is the outlook like when it comes to PCBL?
The company largely makes carbon black, which is used in the different industries and in the moldings in the automobile industry. The company has seen a significant rise, and the group is quite positive on for the future prospects of the PCBL. But since he has bought at a lower price of 135, I would recommend him to book some profits, partial book profits, and rest to keep on hold.
Yeah, okay, so that's the view on PCBL. Okay, so we've got a question on Varun Beverages, and this is from Rajiv, who's writing in from Karnal in Haryana, and he's looking to purchase Varun Beverages for the long term at this point. Brijesh, good morning to you, and Saurabh to you as well. But Brijesh, coming to you, is this the right time to deploy if you're buying for the long term?
Morning, Alex. So yeah, most probably, but then having said this, perspective, the expected low can be somewhere 450, 430 level. So one has to keep that in mind. But yes, from the long-term perspective, one can add the long bets.
Okay, so that's with regards to where Varun Beverages stands. We have got our first caller for the day. Ajay is calling in from Ambala. Ajay, a very good morning to you. How can we help you?
या गुड मॉर्निंग मैम, गुड मॉर्निंग सर। सर मेरा क्वेश्चन टीसीएस के ऊपर है। एक्चुअली मैंने फ्राइडे को 3480 पे 900 शेयर्स लिए थे।
ठीक है।
एक्चुअली मेरा जो लेने का पीछे रीजन ये था कि जुलाई 9 को इट में भी डेडलाइन और वो जो यूएसए के साथ जो ट्रेड डील होने वाला है, मुझे लगता है कॉन्ट्रैक्ट ट्रेड के लिए मैंने ये लिया था।
ओके।
तो क्या मुझे और उसके रिजल्ट्स भी इनके आएंगे, तो आई थिंक कि मैंने इस पॉइंट ऑफ व्यू से इसको लिया था।
ओके।
तो क्या मुझे इसको होल्ड करना चाहिए या मेरा डिसीजन सही है?
और आप नेक्स्ट क्वार्टर के रिजल्ट्स तक होल्ड करना चाहते हो उसको, करेक्ट?
हाँ जी, हाँ जी, हाँ जी, हाँ जी। मेरा एक तो ये था, एक ट्रेड डील के बाद जो डेडलाइन है उस जुलाई में 9 का, उसके लिए था कि शायद कॉन्ट्रैक्ट ये लेने के लिए सोचा मैंने।
समझ गए। ठीक है, आई विल टेक दिस अप विद ब्रिजेश। ब्रिजेश, व्हाट्स योर आउटलुक लाइक वेयर चार्ट्स आर कंसर्न फॉर टीसीएस फॉर द नेक्स्ट 3 odd months?
I think I will hold the position because maybe from the 3 month perspective, whatever the buying he has done, he will make some profits. So the outlook is not too much of bullish, but then specifically from the trading perspective, I think there can be an opportunity and this can go back to 3600, 3650. So that much play he can wait for.
All right, so that's the view on Tata Consultancy Services. Ajay, hopefully that answers your question. Suzlon is the name of the counter that we're talking about next, and it's had a pretty decent run from when it posted its numbers. It's gaining about 1% or so after that nearly 10% rise that it saw at the end of last week. Satyan Narayana is writing in from Visakhapatnam and asking about this. He's bought at levels of 56.8 and he's wondering whether to book profits or to keep them for a target. He's not given us a time frame. So I'm going to come back to you on this one, Brijesh, on the charts. Very good run in the recent past. Would you book profits though?
Yeah, definitely. I'll take profits. One of the reason why I say this because there has been a gap in this Suzlon in the recently from the level of 68. So sooner or later, I think this can come back to 68 or even may go back to 65, 66 level. So there will be a profit booking in this particular stock. So somebody who has already made some money, I think they should do the profit booking, and eventually whenever it come back to 60, we can review it.
So that's with regards to where Suzlon stands. Our next caller, Sandeep, is calling in from Karnataka. Sandeep, a very good morning to you. How can we help you?
Hi, Mahima and Alex. Very good morning. I follow the show very regularly. Thank you for all.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, and I have a question. I have close to 5 lakh rupees that I want to invest. It's more for my kids' education. I'm looking for 5 to 7 years of time horizon. I wanted to look what are the topics that I can diversify and invest on.
Okay, got your question, Sandeep. I'll take this up with Saurabh. Saurabh, he's looking to invest 5 lakh rupees and this is for his children's education. So he wants to invest this from a longer term perspective. What are the safe bets that you're looking at?
I think one of the safe bets that he can invest in the banking pack, maybe ICICI Bank for the long term. I think here he can expect 15-20% kind of a CAGR growth. In the capital goods segment, I would recommend him to go with the Larsen & Toubro.
Okay. Okay, we might just have lost him midway through. He's given us 3 stock picks. Why don't you complete that list, Brijesh, on the technicals at this point, or do we have Saurabh back? We don't yet have Saurabh. So, Brijesh, he's given us 3 large cap stocks. Any others that you would want to add to this list for a 2 lakh 2 lakh or 5 lakh? Which one was it? 5 lakh investment. Yeah.
I think the metal space can be one of the bet. Hindustan Copper is something which is in the limelight, so I would like to take a call on that. Hindustan Copper from the current level, it can go back to good from 30-40% kind of appreciation can be there. And PSU banks, everybody is talking. I think Container Corporation is something which is something has come in my radar. And from the safe bet, I think Dabur and Swiggy can be one stock which will be a little bit risky, but then I think that can also be kept on your watch list.
That's on the technicals, but I'm pretty sure that Saurabh has got a completely different list. Saurabh, if you can reiterate what you spoke about till the point where you said L&T, and then tell us the other stocks as well. Yeah.
The first one is ICICI Bank. The other was in L&T. The third one from the utility pack is NHPC. I expect a lot of capacity is going to be operationalized in the next few years, and the company is expected to do well. In the capital goods space, I like one more company called KEC International. The company is largely into transmission segment. The results were fantastic, and the company has guided the expansion in the margins with a good order book. The fifth company, I would recommend him from the textile called Vardhaman Textile. So that way he can invest in the his money into these five companies.
Got it. All right. And pretty diversified set of 5 stocks. But a good idea, of course, is to look up these companies, do your own research, study them, and see whether they fit into your thesis or your understanding of what to invest. Always a good idea to invest in stocks that you understand. All right. Vikas is calling us from Hyderabad. Hi, Vikas. Very good morning. How can we help you today?
Yeah, good morning.
Please go ahead.
Your queries regarding Enviro Infra Engineering Limited. I have around 3,000 shares, average price of 2 to 5.
Okay.
I need like a 3 months perspective over there. I have been holding it from last 2-3 months probably.
Okay, see, getting you a short-term perspective on this stock is going to be difficult for me, Vikas, because it's a relatively new listing and I don't think Brijesh is going to have enough data. So, would you be okay with a fundamental view on this?
Yeah.
Yeah, you're fine. Saurabh, any coverage on Enviro Infra, and if so, would you hold on to this or would you book profits?
Won't be able to give on this.
So, unfortunately, because we don't have the ability to give you a view on this particular stock, is there anything else that you'd like to know, any stock that you'd like to know about?
No, seriously, thanks.
Okay, we'll circle back at some point and get you a view on that. In the meanwhile, let me take the next question. It's Aniket Hiramat, who's writing in from Karnataka and asking about Raymond Limited. Quite a bit has changed for this stock in the recent past in terms of corporate updates. The split or the demerger of its lifestyle business has taken place. He's looking to enter for a period of 2 years. The question is, should he do that, or is there another stock that you would pick? Saurabh, what's your view?
See, I think, in my opinion, this company is largely into the construction and real estate division. Relatively, this is the company is into this venture for long, but I would rather recommend him to go with the trusted names like maybe Prestige Estate or DLF.
Okay, so that's with regards to where Raymond stands. Next question is on Puneet, who's writing in from Gurgaon. He wants to know whether between Epigral, TVS Holding and GM Financial, which is a better bet from a next 6 months perspective. I'll come to you on this one, Brijesh. What's the outlook like?
Fine. I need to.
Yeah, sure.
So do that. Let's read out the list again. Epigral,
TVS Holdings and GM Financial.
I will purely look it from a technical point of view. The charts of the TVS holding look quite strong. There has been a good recovery in the last month. So I think the structure for the TVS holding looks positive. So I think this momentum can be there. Maybe specifically this month there can be some breather, but gradually this can go back to 13,500, 14,000. So that I would have a positive view. Epigra, there is no major formation, so it's a avoid. And this other one is also I'm not that very comfortable. I think I will go only with the TVS holding.
TVS Holding is the view coming in from Brijesh. All right, our next caller, Balaji, is calling in from Chennai. Balaji, a very good morning to you. I believe you have a query on Tata Motors.
Yeah, very good morning. Thanks for having me. So I bought around 400 stocks in Tata Motors.
Okay.
Which average at around 620.
Right.
So can I go for a partial profit booking or can I hold for some more time?
Okay. And when you bought this from a longer term perspective?
Yeah, longer term.
Okay. So I'll take this up with Saurabh then. Saurabh, he's sitting on a profits of around 36,000 odd rupees right now. Do you think he should book partial profits or wait for the stock in terms of more upside?
A lot of volatility is there in their international business. Europe is not that doing well. In China, they are struggling. In the domestic market, latest number of the May came in which we saw some kind of a degrowth. I would recommend him to book profits, full profits in Tata Motors, and rather, if he wants to invest in the auto sector, I would recommend him to go in for Mahindra.
Mahindra. Also because the domestic numbers, Tata Motors is losing market share at this juncture, and Mahindra, particularly based on the numbers that came through, both for its automotive division as well as its farm equipment sector volumes, and that means tractors, they look pretty strong in the month gone by. All right, let's take the next question. We've got Apollo Microsystems that we're talking about next. And Satyan is asking, from the perspective of the next 12 to 15 months, what is the potential upside? He's already bought at a price of 120 rupees. So, Brijesh, on the charts, what levels can he look at on the upside? He's in the green, considerably so. But can he expect further upside? And what are the stop losses that you would keep?
I think I take the positive bet because the way it has given a breakout, it looks like this continuation of the trend can be there. So we can from the current level of this 194, we should be talking on the 20-25% fresh upside. So 220, 225 should be the next level we should be watching on. Having said this, the stop loss would be somewhere close to 155, below 155, because that is the level from where the breakout has come in the weekly time frame. So 155 would be my stop.
Okay, so that's the view with regards to where Apollo Microsystems stands. Our next question is from Uma, and she wants to know whether she can buy Dixon Technologies at the moment or wait for some more time. Saurabh, I'll come to you on this one. EMS players this time, this quarter specifically, have done very well. What's your outlook like for Dixon Technologies? Because I think mobiles was the one segment that drove the entire earnings this quarter.
Yeah, but gradually what we are seeing that even the growth on the mobile segment is tapering off, and moreover, these companies are trading at the hefty valuations with the very thin margins. In any volatility in the commodity prices may affect them, and many of the companies are coming themselves with the addition in the capacity, which may turn into losing their share in the segment. So my take is avoid.
All right, Gautam has got the next question. SGS Enterprise is the name of the counter that he wants to talk about. He's bought at levels of 1,202 and he's wondering whether to hold. He's lost a little bit of ground. He's looking for a technical view on the stock for the next 12 to 18 months. Gautam is writing in from Mumbai. Brijesh, on the charts, would you hold on?
Yes, I think I should be holding on because in the recently it has given a volume breakout and now it is doing some sideways consolidation. So the weekly structure is positive. So I think sooner or later this can go back to 1250, 1300 level. It will take a little bit of longer time, but that positive view is there. So one should hold.
Got the next caller, Gavi Siddesh, who's calling us from Karnataka. Very good morning, Gavi. How can we help you today?
हाँ सर नमस्कार
नमस्कार
सर मैं इजी माई ट्रिप 1500 शेयर तो 20 रुपीस का भाव में खरीदा हूँ सर
हाँ
अभी लास्ट में चल रही है होल्ड करना है या सेल कर दो सर
कब लिया था आपने
6 महीने से हो गया सर 1 साल पहले हो गया
एक साल पहले हो गया तो आपने लॉन्ग टर्म के लिए लिया था
हाँ सर वही सर
हाँ पर आपको अभी होल्ड करना है या नहीं करना है अभी लॉसेस बुक करना है वो पूछना है ना
हाँ सर
Okay. Saurabh, on the fundamentals, ultimately, because this is what has driven the stock decline over the course of the last several months, and promoter selling, some part of that has also come through. Would you hold or would you book your losses and move somewhere else?
देखिए कंपनी में अगर हम ऑपरेशनल तरफ से देखेंगे तो काफी लॉसेस बढ़े हैं प्रमोटर ने भी माल बेचा है और कंपनी ने कभी कभी ऐसा स्टेटमेंट भी दिया है कि जो उनके बिजनेस से रिलेटेड नहीं है उन बिजनेसेस में वेंचर करने के लिए भी तो जो बाजार को काफी नाखुश रहा ऑपरेशनल तौर पे कंपनी का जो डी ग्रोथ आ रहा है और वैल्यूएशन अभी भी काफी महंगे लगते हैं मेरी सलाह से आप निकल जाएं तो बेहतर रहेगा
Move out of the stock is the view coming in from Saurabh on Easy Trip. All right, the next question is from Shaunak Patel, who's writing in from Gujarat. He's holding 1,500 odd shares of Black Box from a longer term perspective, and he's bought at the levels of 600. He wants to know as to what should he do with his current holding. Should he hold, sell? Saurabh, not sure if you have a view on this one. Any outlook on Black Box?
Will be able to give any.
All right. Then Brijesh, your view on the charts, what is it indicating? Should he continue to hold or sell?
I think slightly positive bias can be there. I don't know why the stock has moved, but then now it is moving above its short and medium term moving average, and the value of the 200 is moving average at 500. So as long as above 500, I will hold my longs. So my stop loss would be 500 with this.
All right. Brijesh, I understand that you're leaving us at this point. Thank you so much for joining us on this program and for all the views that you shared. Saurabh, do stay with us. We'll continue on the other side to take more of your questions. I'd encourage you, viewer, to do stay tuned and we'll take more questions on the other side.
तू ही तो है जिसकी सच्चाई वाली क्लैरिटी की वजह से मैं आज यहाँ हूँ।
गोल्ड प्लस सिल्वॉक्सी मिरर्स, ऐसी क्लैरिटी कि आपको सिर्फ सच नजर आए, चाहे कितने भी साल बीत जाएं।
The markets move fast.
And so should your portfolio. Expert insights, real-time stock picks.
Do I buy Ola?
Should I hold CDSL for the long term?
Buy, sell or hold.
The answers you need, straight from the experts.
Callers from India and across the world. Connect live, ask, decide and invest wisely.
Your portfolio, your future. Ask Profit.
Do you really know the company you invest in? What is the real picture behind presentations and claims? Is the outlook as rosy as the company claims? Know Your Company, powered by NDTV Profit Research, shines a light on the biggest stock market movers.
Headlines you start your day with. What matters worldwide is now in the palm of your hands. Get ready to seize the day and maximize your financial potential. Stay ahead of the curve with all you need to know on NDTV Profit.
Do you really know the company you invest in? What is the real picture behind?
Welcome back. You're watching Ask Profit. Well, a quick detour and we'll be talking to the management of TCI Express on the back of the Q4 earnings. In terms of the overall numbers, the street was kind of disappointed with the numbers that it posted, but this is because the entire industry is continuing to see headwinds impacting both the SME as well as the institutional customers that are seeing the kind of overall impact in the logistics space. To discuss all of this, we are joined by Chandrel Agarwal, who is the MD of TCI Express, who's joining us now. Chandrel, a very good morning to you. Just wanted to get your sense as to how Q4 and FY25 has panned out for you and the kind of headwinds that logistics is seeing as a space. What is the outlook like?
So Q4, essentially the whole of financial year 25, we saw that we were grappled with high interest rates and high inflation rates, and that really impacted the SME sector. With interest rates at almost inflation rate at almost 9% and interest rates at over 8%. We also saw that it was election year. It was something which we knew that it would be a very not a very good year in terms of business growth, especially in the high value segment that we operate in. In the regular transportation, where the volumes are much larger, there I think it was absorbed. But of course, the volumes were there, but not with the profitability levels that one should expect. This is just a temporary phenomena. I don't see structurally we are having any problems. We have very strong cash flows. We have we made about 110 crores in profit and 140 in cash profit. So that is quite solid, and I don't see any structural issue as such.
Alex here. The street generally will look forward and look through a few things, but then I'm just wondering that 559 basis point contraction in the margins on a year-on-year basis in the fourth quarter was something that I think a lot of people found a little glaring. And you're saying that there are headwinds, but I think the question really is how long does that last? Does that dissipate somewhat? Is this because you couldn't pass through increases in costs, that input pressure or inflationary pressures remain in toll and labor charges? I see freight rates have also remained elevated. How much of that dissipates in the first half of this year?
So we are the only company which has been showing progressive growth and profit over the past 8 years. It's just that the previous year, last financial year, we saw this major breakthrough in our growths and profits. Again, it's something which I would say is cyclical. It is not permanent, or which is not is going to go on for a long time. India is a growing economy, and we know very well that the headwinds that we faced are going to go away. It's just that the demand is going to be very high. So temporarily, if you see a reduction in profit in Q4, again, because compared to what the street is anticipating versus what is really on the ground, are very different. We are seeing that the consumers are not opening up their wallets to the full extent that we are expecting. There is growth in certain sectors like travel and tourism, but if you look at lifestyle and other products which are consumed by the majority of the population, they're all in the lower levels. So I don't think that it's a permanent feature. It's temporary, and going forward we will.
But if you can give us a sense of what to expect, and I appreciate that there are so many moving parts here, but I'm sure that your investors are going to thank you for giving them some perspective on two fronts. One, in terms of top line growth and in terms of volumes that you handle, how do you see that moving? Do you see that moving up? And can you expect, for example, double-digit growth? Top line growth is only about 3% in the fourth quarter or thereabouts. So does that improve, or does that stay a little soft in the first half, in the first quarter as we speak? And at what range do you expect the margins to come in? Do you see it moving back to that close to double-digit number, or do you think that it's going to remain soft right now?
No, I think Q1 will be soft for sure. And going forward, we are projecting about 10 to 12% top line growth, which would translate to about 15 to 16% in EBITDA growth. I think we will definitely go back to the old numbers that we have. And I think there's also a talk about the interest rates being lowered. So we will see demand increase, which will translate to transportation also going up.
If I'm not wrong, in your con call, you did mention that margins have now bottomed out and that you will experience a margin expansion between 150 to 200 basis points. Is that correct? And if yes, what will be the levers in FY26?
Right. So that's one will be volume growth for sure. Second would be better capacity utilization. Third would be marginal price increase. So I think these three reasons would be the prime factors for our profitability to go up.
Okay. And just one last quick question. You have planned a capex of around 500 crores in the next 5 years. Just want to get a sense as to how much of that capex you'll do in FY26 and how will that be funded?
We are projecting about 100 crore of investment. Again, this is all through internal accruals. We are zero debt. So yeah.
Last point, you said that capacity utilization is expecting to increase. In the fourth quarter, it stood at 82.5%. Where do you see that going?
We're going to go back to 85, 86%.
In the first quarter itself?
No, from the second quarter onwards.
Okay. So and that's why you're saying that the first quarter is going to be a little soft and then it'll improve in the second quarter onwards.
Yes. It's cyclical also, so the business is like that.
Chandra, absolute pleasure having you on the program. Thanks so much for joining us this morning.
Thank you.
All right, let's go back to some of the questions that you've asked. And we've got Ajit Mishra of Religare Broking joining us on this side. Saurabh Jain is waiting by. Saurabh, logistics space has seen a lot of challenges. How specifically do you look at TCI Express, if at all? What did you think of the comments that you just heard?
I think nothing specific to TCI Express, but if you look in the last few quarters, I mean over the years, these companies have already faced some sort of challenges. After the COVID, we saw some kind of a growth, and there was optimism around the sector. But thereafter, I think there are a lot of issues faced by this sector. So in our list, it is a avoid.
All right. Okay. So point taken on the logistics space. By the way, viewers of NDTV Profit will know that the next show is Know Your Company, and this is where there is a deep dive of one specific company every day. And today the choice is office spaces. And this is a company that posted a very decent set of numbers in the fourth quarter. If I remember correctly, the stock ran up quite significantly after that. The questions that they're asking on the show today: is the growth sustainable? Is there scope for an increase even from this point in occupancy? What are the renewal trends and the escalation that the company is seeing? And are their return ratios reasonable and sustainable? And how important is a straight lease? So all of those things are going to be explained in more detail in case you don't know what that means. Of course, it is in the office space. It is in the space of leasing out its office space. And so understanding the business model, all of that comes through in Know Your Company. 11:30 is when you watch out for that.
All right. The next question then, Ramesh is writing in from Vijayawada and wants to know if this is the right time from a longer term perspective to enter into something like an AFCONS. Ajit, very good morning to you. I'll come to you on this one. Do you think the charts are attractive enough to enter AFCONS right now?
Good morning, Mahima. So, since it's a recent listing, we don't have much data to comment upon. But basis the recent price action, it seems like that the stock is stuck in a range. Means 400 to 500 is something that the stock has been hovering in for almost 2-3 months. So, basis this, yes, we are closer to the lower band. In case if somebody is looking for investment, the downside seems capped, means close to around 400 or maybe 390 something one can maintain as a stop loss if the view is long term. And then they can definitely consider accumulating the stock at the current levels.
Okay, so that's with regards to where charts are concerned for something like an AFCONS infra. Our next caller, Sikan, is calling in from Odisha. Sikan, a very good morning to you. How can we help you?
Good morning. I want to ask about Coal India.
Okay.
So, can I hold it for this week?
This week?
Yes.
Okay. So I'll take this up with Ajit again then. Ajit, he's holding 101 shares at 393 a piece and wants to know if he can continue to hold it for the next 1 week to see some profits.
Yeah, so it's a very tight range for Coal India. If you see, it's almost like 2 weeks now that the stock has been trading in this 395 to 405 kind of a range. Once we see a breakout or a close above 405, definitely the stock can inch toward 425 or 430 area. So since he bought it at lower level, 395 should now be his stop loss, and definitely he can hold.
There's a view on Coal India. The next question is on Nestle, and Shankar from Bengaluru has got an interesting question. So he's talking about the multiples, the valuation multiples specifically, and the price to earnings ratio. In fact, why don't you take this question because you have more context here.
Yeah, so what he's mentioning is that Nestle is currently trading roughly at a PE of 75. Not PV, he's seeing the book value ratio. No, book value ratio is 56 and PE is 75. I think the PE as per Bloomberg estimates is around 65 roughly, but in terms of long-term perspective, he wants to know whether he can add more or not. Saurabh, I'll come to you on this one. Nestle, in terms of volume growth, has specifically done better than the peers this time, but in terms of the overall outlook, they are not very optimistic. What's the view like? Should he continue to hold from a longer-term perspective?
I think you're absolutely right. The company is not very optimistic. There was challenges in terms of, raw material prices like cocoa. They saw degrowth in their top line and bottom line year on year. And on the valuation front, these stocks have already traded at a premium, but still I feel because the meager growth, on the negative growth, these valuations may not stay. So I would not recommend to go for investment in Nestle for long term. I would say avoid.
Why don't we pull up the components of the FMCG index today, because they're buzzing in trade. Of course, they've come off the high point, I think, if we can pull up that list. Okay, Godrej Consumer still trading higher by about 3%. Mahima really is going to be able to tell you why that is, and it has to do with palm oil, doesn't it?
Right. So edible oils as a whole, that includes your palm oil, your soybean oil, as well as your sunflower oil. So the government has come out with a notification saying that there is a custom duty reduction in edible oils, and this was that is your basic custom duty, which has now been reduced to 10% from 20% earlier. So effective duty now is at 16.5% versus that of 27.5% earlier. And India imports more than 50% of these edible oils. Now, in terms of the countries that it imports from, that's Malaysia, Indonesia, as well as Singapore. And edible oil producers will definitely benefit from this. Godrej Agrovet, Adani Wilmar, Patanjali Foods are some counters that could benefit. And FMCG companies will also benefit from this, because all of these oils are used for production like chocolate, biscuits, cake, cosmetics, soaps, shampoos, washing powder and other cleaning products as well. And this could, palm oil especially, could make up almost 20% of the overall raw materials for these products. So companies like HUL, which imports palm oil from its wholly owned subsidiary in Indonesia, could benefit. There is Nestle, which sources 90% of their edible oil locally. This, although it will have lesser impact as compared to how other companies import more, and Colgate completely sources palm olive from India, so it will not see any bearing. But possible impact could also be on names like Dabur, Imami, Jyoti Labs, Godrej Consumers. However, these companies don't give breakup as to how much of a import that they do in these edible oils, but for sure it will impact these companies.
And you might just see this in the second quarter, I would think, because you have inventories for a certain amount of time that
Correct.
will play through only immediately. So you may not see the impact on raw material prices immediately. So bear that in mind. It is, of course, a sentimental positive. Let's go to the caller. We've got Murli, who's called us from Bengaluru again. Murli, very good morning to you. How can we help you? My tongue is not moving fast enough today. Apologies. Murli, how can we help you today?
Today I bought Transrail Lighting.
Okay.
A recent listing, 500 shares at 612 rupees after the results. And the hello?
Yes, I'm
Hello?
right here. I can hear you.
Yeah. So, after considering the management interview, which talk about 20% CAGR for the next 4 years.
Yes.
I think that I bought it on the hope that it is rightly priced for buying.
Okay.
I am willing to wait for more than a year.
Okay.
Sounding confidence of hearing management's interview.
Okay.
It's not expensively priced, it's a reasonable ROE also.
Yeah.
What is your view for me buying more or holding the current holdings for next 1 or 2 years?
Okay, I got it. And so you've already made some money on this acquisition that you've done.
Yeah. Friday only I bought it. Last week only I bought it.
Got it. All right. So Saurabh, he's bought basis the expectation of a 20% upside in revenues, I believe. So what is your opinion on this? Do you think that this is possible? And what is your opinion on the valuation? Should he pick up more at this stage?
I think he has done a very good job in terms of reading this company. It's relatively a new listing. In the recent quarterly earnings were good. There was a kind of 30% growth in this segment. I think the valuations are not that high, being it comes into the small cap category, but still it trades at 7 times to book value. I think he should wait for a quarter or two to get a sense how the earnings pan out, and then wait before adding more stock to his holding.
Wait is a point right now, and hold on to your holding right now. We've got IRB, which we're speaking about next, and we've got Venkat from Andhra Pradesh, who's bought 20,000 shares at a price of 49 rupees per share. The stock is currently trading above that at 51 or thereabouts. But a very significant quantity has been bought, but he does clarify that the stock forms less than 2% of his overall portfolio. So bear that in mind as well. He's in the green and gaining about 50,000 rupees or so. He's got an outlook for 1 year, and he's looking at whether he should hold on at this point. So Ajit, on the charts, should he do so?
So Alex, it's almost a year now that the stock has been witnessing, corrective trend, means from 75 to 40, and then after almost 2-3 months of consolidation, we are seeing that stock as forming a base, and is set for the reversal. So definitely he has bought it at right prices, means we have reclaimed the major averages. So for the next leg of the momentum, it could be in a couple of sessions or maybe in a week's time that again the stock might witness next leg of the up move, which could help the stock to inch toward 59 or maybe higher. So since his view is long term, definitely he should stay put. To change this bias means a close below 45 would again push the stock on the back foot. So as of now, with stop at 45, he can definitely maintain his positions.
So that's the with regards to where charts are concerned from IRB Infra. Our next caller, Jitendra, is calling in from Jaipur. Jitendra, a very good morning to you. How can we help you?
Yeah, good morning. Actually, I bought Bajaj Auto 10 shares at around 9,600 price.
Okay.
And it's been like almost 4-5 months. It's not crossing that price. So what's the outlook? Should I hold it for a long period or not?
Okay, I got your question, Jitendra. I take this up with Saurabh. Saurabh, in terms of the overall numbers for Bajaj Auto, numbers were largely in line for Q4. But the kind of outlook that the management has given, that looks very optimistic. What is your view? Should he continue to hold from a longer term perspective?
I think maybe the street is disappointed because of the volume growth that this company is being witnessed. I think two companies which are enjoying good growth is TVS Motors and Eicher Motors. I would recommend him to switch his money to TVS Motor. They are investing in the TVS Motor will give him more chance of making money.
TVS Motor is a pick that Saurabh has in the two-wheeler space. Do bear in mind that we're at this juncture talking about a possible improvement in high-frequency indicators, and there could be a consumption play that lines up in some time with the onset of the monsoons and all of those factors. Keep a close eye on the volumes. The volume picture, of course, in the month gone by, not as encouraging as some people might have hoped. Surendra has got the next question, writing in from Chennai and asking about CDSL, which he's bought at levels of 1,331.7. He's got 62 shares and he's looking at whether or not to hold at this point. He hasn't given us a time frame, Ajit, so on the chart, should he hold or exit?
So Alex, he has bought it at at decent levels, means around the breakout area, after almost 2-3 months of consolidation. And he's sitting on decent profit. I would recommend him to continue to trail his stop losses and ride this momentum. So now 1530 on the closing base should be his stop loss, and gradually closer to around, let's say 1750, 1800 area. In case if it comes, then definitely he can consider booking profits.
All right. So that's the view on CDSL. It's up about 40%, 44% or thereabouts over the last 3 months or so. And that's because quite a few of the capital market players have come back into focus in that time frame. Bala Murugan is calling us from Chennai. Very good morning, Bala. How can we help you today?
Sir, good morning, sir.
Good morning.
Sir, I'm holding 830 shares of Canara Bank at the rate of 102.
Okay.
I want to know whether can I book profit or can I hold it for long term?
Okay, I got it. And when did you buy this?
I bought last year, sir. After the Canara Bank has issued that split, after that I bought, sir.
Got it. All right. So let me take a view on the technicals. The entire pack in focus today, Ajit, the entire PSU banking pack, it may be off the high point of the day, but they all saw a spurt. Would you book profits or would you hold for further upside?
So Alex, you rightly mentioned that we are seeing traction, and interestingly means the banking index is sitting on the sidelines for almost a month now. The heavyweights, they are either seeing some profit taking or trading in a very tight range. But PSUs on the other hand, from the last week onwards, we are seeing strong traction, including Canara Bank. So I believe that he can continue to hold since his view is long term, and gradually we can inch towards the record highs or maybe higher. So close to around 126.28 was the previous record high. So now with the trailing stop loss at 110, definitely he can stay put.
So that's with regards to where Canara Bank stands. The next question is from Srishail Patil, who's writing in from Bengaluru. He's asking about Orton Globe. I'm not sure if we have coverage on this one, Saurabh, but I'll come to you. Orton Global is the counter. No, I think this is a very small company. I'm not sure if we'll have a view on this one, but let's take up the next counter. Shubham is writing in and he wants to know as to what's the view with respect to where HSCL stands. Ajit, I'll come to you again on this one. HSCL, that is your Himadri Specialty Chemicals. What are the charts indicating?
So HOCL, very sharp correction, in the last 1.5 month, almost 50% kind of, retracement from the recent highs, and still the stock is struggling around the, recent lows. So I would recommend him to exit in case if you have bought it even at the higher levels, because the underperformance is likely to continue. Or in case if you wish to wait for any bounce, so maintain a strict stop at 19 and use any rebound towards 22, 22.52, exit his longs.
He's got a question on HDFC Bank, and he's bought at levels of 1,960. He's got 20,000 shares. Quite a significant quantity has been bought, and he's looking for fundamental view on the stock. Saurabh, this is, I think a lot of people have called it a portfolio stock for good reason, and it has made a comeback after languishing a little bit. What's the view from this point, though?
I think from the long-term perspective, it is good to hold. The problem with the issues with the merger of HDFC with the bank has now been gone in some ways because of the improvement in their numbers. Now the bank is good to go with their balance sheet. Earlier they've guided that they would grow slow in the credit side of the balance sheet and would focus more on the deposits. Now I think that transition period is over, and I think it is good to hold.
The view coming in on HDFC Bank. Our next question is from Neeraj, who's writing in from Karnataka and wants to know if Sigachi Industries is the right counter to buy right now. Ajit, what are the charts indicating?
So yes, it's a very strong rebound with volumes, especially in last 4 or 5 trading sessions, and we are very close to the immediate resistance zone. Means 55 to 58 is something that the stock has multiple hurdles, both in terms of price action and the indicators. So probably around that area, in fact, he can look to book profit. Fresh buying is something that you should avoid. In the meanwhile, do maintain a stop at 50 also.
So that's the view on Sigachi. Let's take another quick view. IOCL is the name of the counter. 141 is the buy price. Bhairav from Hyderabad has bought 1,200 shares, looking to hold for the long term. What's the view on the fundamentals, Saurabh? Should he hold on?
I think it comes into the value investing. I mean, the valuations are quite low, and the dividend yield is also there. There is some cyclicality in terms of marketing margin, the refining margin. But overall, I think at this price, it is good to hold.
Hold. Bear in mind that crude prices may be on the way up, so keep a close eye on the global crude prices. It's time now to hit the rapid fire round, and Saurabh and Ajit, you know what this means. We'll throw as many questions at you over the course of 2 minutes. The first one coming your way is on Hyundai, and we've got Hema Bisht, who's writing in from Abu Dhabi, bought at levels of 1,753. Should she hold or buy more on dips or sell? Saurabh?
Wish to Aisha Mota.
HDFC Life is the next counter. Pradeep from Bengaluru wants to know if he can enter right now from a short-term perspective. Ajit, your view?
Buy with stop at 750.
Infi is the name of the counter, and Rajendra from Bengaluru is bought at levels of 1580. Should he hold or take an exit? Short-term view. Ajit?
Stop 1510, hold 1620, 1640 target.
Okay, Krishna Kumar has bought 1250 shares of Titagarh at 1185 a piece. Wants to know if he can hold from a longer term perspective. Saurabh, your view considering the Q4 numbers?
Better to exit.
Ashok Leyland for a period of 5 years, bought at levels of 115. Dinesh from Gwalior wants to know whether to hold for 5 years. Saurabh?
Hold.
Irida is the next counter. Sampath Kumar wants to know if he can continue to hold from a longer term perspective. Saurabh?
Hold.
Indigo Paints bought at 1398 in December 2024. Dinesh Bhatt wants to know whether to hold or exit. Saurabh?
Hold.
Okay, Soma Shekhar has bought Vodafone Idea at 10 rupees a piece, 100 shares. Should he continue to hold? Ajit, your view on the charts?
Exit.
Speaking of Vodafone Idea, Indus Towers, would you buy or not for a period of 6 months? Rajiv wants to know. Ajit?
Yeah, buy 350 stop loss, 420 first target, then 440.
Okay, Shahzad from Qatar wants to know if he can continue to hold Bilda Soft. He's bought 612 at the rate of 612 and 229 shares. Saurabh, your view?
Exit.
Hotel shares, which one would you pick? Simarpal wants to know. Saurabh?
Lemon Tree.
Okay, very quickly, Jyoti Structure, would you hold at levels of 21? Ajit?
Hold 19 stop. Actual move would trigger only about 22.
Okay, all right. Gentlemen, thank you so much for joining us today. Absolute pleasure having you on the program. And that brings us to the end of this edition of Ask Profit from Mahima and myself and the team that put the show together. Thank you so much for watching. Up next is Know Your Company, and we're discussing office spaces. So do stay tuned.
That's huge. That is a biggie. It's on.
गोल्ड ग्लास क्लियर ग्लास, पार हो या नियर, सब कुछ दिखे क्लियर।
Do you really know the company you invest in? What is the real picture behind presentations and claims? Is the outlook as rosy as the company claims?